Mexico's president says no to Ukraine's request for weapons.
Here's a summary of the article.
Mexico City. President Andrés Manuel López Obrador said on Friday that Mexico would not supply any country with weapons, denying the Ukrainian embassy's request. Through a letter addressed to the Mexican Congress, Ukraine said that its armed forces required military assistance, pleading with Mexico for warfare equipment and to contact its European partners to deliver some of the fighter jets they have to Kyiv. At his press conference, López Obrador denied that assistance of such nature would be provided to any country. "We do not send weapons anywhere, we are pacifists," said López Obrador. In the letter, Ukrainian legislators urgently express the need for bulletproof vests, helmets, communication technology, and military-grade weaponry, saying that providing Ukrainian soldiers with weapons will stop civilian casualties. Mexico has previously condemned Russian hostilities towards Ukraine, reiterating in multiple occasions its aversion to any type of invasion or military attacks from any nation, and has offered shelter to both Ukrainian and Russian citizens. López Obrador said Tuesday that his government would not join the sanctions against Russia imposed by Western nations.
This post received a score of 25,000, with an upvote ratio of 88%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Mexico has its own cartel super problem.
That's why he said no ghee.
He said, no mames gooey?
Ya G? EY. Pinche pendijo G. EY ya. Pinche vado. Ya G. EY por favor idiota. Falls into the river?
Te ba? Aste.
Galitas emperador.
Two paquetitos por favor. Sí. Una de chocolate y la otra de limón porfa.
He should have asked Los Zetas instead.
La Letra has had little influence since Lascano's demise and Forti's arrest. The most militarized one at the moment is Mencho.
Man, I need to catch up. Haven't read about these guys since the pandemic.
Our narco footage has some informative post but also a lot of gore.
Is there like a narcology subreddit like Chiricology?
That's exactly what you're gonna find on our narco footage. There's some speculation obviously but a ton of info. Remember, it's the internet and a lot of the info comes from self-resourcing and not from first-hand knowledge, so it tends to paint Mexico as much more violent and scary than it actually is. Not saying Mexico isn't, but it's a subreddit for the cartel violence specifically.
Yeah, I have seen armed robberies claimed as cartel charging protection money. When obviously if someone is charging you protection money, the video wouldn't be on the internet the same day. Mexico is violent. But usually if you do not participate you don't get attacked. Cartels also generally do not target Americans because it brings American authority attention, which is bad for business. I can tell you a bit about the cartels, at least the local ones. In small towns they generally are all family and known as mafias, so they are loved in some parts.
Cartel issues aside, Mexico has a neutral stance in international affairs since the 1930s. Mexico did send some pilots to be trained in the U.S. during WW II who saw combat in the Pacific, but apart from that its general policy to not intervene in foreign wars. Edit. Yes, Mexico sent arms to the Republican faction in Spain in the late 1930s, which to me still fits the parameters of, since the 1930s, but I should have said, Mexico has a neutral stance in international affairs since the 1940s.
The concrete answer to this situation, in general the exterior politics of Mexico, is to keep neutrality as much as possible.
Mexico is currently engaged in a horrifying drug war with the Jalisco New Generation cartel fighting the Sinaloa cartel for control of the country. The shit Jalisco New Generation does makes the Russians look like pacifists. Mexico is a little preoccupied to be helping arm Ukraine right now.
I'm sorry, what now?
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.